Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this week I'm going to show you how I installed these barn board floors. I'll start by saying I've never installed hardwood floors before and definitely didn't follow the traditional way of installing them. This is because I wanted to keep this project as simple as possible while maintaining as much character in the boards as I could. Most people would probably worry about how these floors would hold up, but they've been installed for about 4 months now, and I'll talk about this more later on in the video. I paid $300 to take as many boards off this old barn that was falling down, only 40 minutes from my house. After I got them home, I let them rest in my carport for about 2 months, which I'm sure you've seen if you've watched my earlier videos. After this, I took my time to remove all the nails from the boards, as I'd be sending them through a planer and I wouldn't want to hit any nails while doing that. After I removed all the nails, I squared up all the ends of the boards on my miter saw. Next, for each board, I picked out which side would be the top side of the floor, which was normally the side that was exposed to the weather and had more patina on it, which I lightly sanded with 220 grit just to smooth out any rough parts. Next, because these came off a barn and were all different thicknesses, I planed the bottom sides of each board until they are all about 1 inch thick. This makes sure that the bottom of the boards are all flat and the same thickness while keeping the character on the top. While spending many hours planing all the boards, I realized they were all different widths and definitely didn't have the straightest of edges. Still, to reduce the amount of time I needed to spend prepping the boards before install, I decided to try to match up boards of similar width and see how the edges lined up. With a little bit of help, we started by laying out all the boards on the floor just to see if this idea would work at all. And as you can see, everything was lining up pretty well with no large gaps, and we were using the full length of every board at this point. The next day I got to prepping the room by removing all the old trim. Next, I got ready to start laying down the first section of the floor. I started by moving enough rows of boards while keeping them in order so that I could lay down one strip of dry sheathing. Before laying down and stapling the dry sheathing to the plywood, I made sure to thoroughly clean the area with a vacuum and hammer down any nail heads in the plywood that were sticking up. Now for securing all the boards to the floor, you would normally have a tongue and groove system on the boards, where you would nail along the tongue to hide any nail. But in my case, these boards don't have tongue and groove, which you could add if you wanted, but because there's already large nail holes in these boards, I decided to just brad nail them on the face. I added a couple nails on each end of the boards before adding nails on the sides along the length about every 6 inches, making sure to alternate between sides. And as you can see, after installing the first board, it seems to be nice and sturdy and you can't see any of the brad nail holes. I continued this exact process of adding rows of boards until I was near the edge of the felt without overhanging it before prepping the next area for another row of felt. After laying down all the boards from one side of the room to the other, you can see on the far side of the room I had a bunch of gaps still. I laid the boards out like this because the shorter sections are less appealing in my opinion and will be covered by furniture on that side of the room anyways. After I'd finished filling in all the gaps in the floor, I lightly sanded the entire floor with 220 grit sandpaper again. Next, I took my time to vacuum up any dust from sanding, as this will really affect how the finish adheres to the floor. After researching online for a while, I decided to go with this Varathane water-based wood floor finish in satin. I did end up needing a second can of this and decided to get semi-gloss just to up the shine a bit. The finishing process was fairly simple, adding 6 coats of finish total, the first 3 being satin for me and the last 3 being semi-gloss. I also lightly sanded the entire floor with 220 grit after coats 3 and 5, making sure to vacuum up any dust after. After I had applied the 6th coat of finish, I waited 3 full days before moving furniture in and using the room. I'm super happy with how these floors came out and love that I was able to preserve most of the natural look of these boards. These floors have been in use for about 4 months now and honestly are in great shape considering they're mostly softwood boards. The only thing I've had to do is add a few more nails to prevent any creaks in the floor. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this project or if I just didn't cover something clearly enough for you. As always, thank you so much for watching this video and please consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to help support me continue to make projects. And with that, enjoy the beauty shots of this floor.